How Coraline uses German Expressionism. The famous stop-motion animation Coraline mainly displays the art movement of German Expressionism, which shows through certain aspects such as emotion, replicating reality, and through impossible sets. Coraline was made in the year 2009 and is an amazingly well-made stop-motion that took 4 years to make. But this is where all of these little aspects come into play. This animation could be easily identified for many art movements, but mainly uses German Expressionism the most. The movie is known to be a dark fantasy horror film in which it's easy to find aspects of this certain art movement. Starting with the first aspect, which is emotion. In the movie Coraline, the main protagonist, Coraline herself, goes through multiple emotions throughout the whole animation. This is caused because she doesn't feel the right amount of love that she receives from her parents, who are deeply blinded by their jobs, mainly the dad. So she tries to distract herself from her family issues by giving herself a tour of her new apartment. While she is touring her house, she finds this mysterious door with a key. Her emotions suddenly change from being upset and downcast to being jocular and auspicious. That change in emotion says a lot when comparing this animation with German Expressionism. Largely because German Expressionism's emotions are shown through anxiety, madness, and confusion. For example, the movie Frankenstein is an immensely famous movie. In the movie Frankenstein, the monster in the movie goes through rumors about his family and is trying to feel loved by someone. The monster is on the run from getting destroyed by his creator because people think that he can only cause evil, which in reality all the monster wants to do was cause good. But no one believes him since he has no self-control or socialism. German Expressionism really tries to avoid reality when it comes to film. This is exactly what Coraline tries to lean on. In the beginning, you might question if it's really trying to avoid reality, but once you get further into the film, you tend to see the shift from reality to dark fantasy. This was pretty easy to do with such a film as Coraline because of the two worlds that the protagonist is living through. Most of the films that the art movement of German Expressionism always have is some sort of monster, which plays a huge role in reality. We all know that monsters are typically used to see a difference between what is real and what isn't real. In the movie Coraline, she escapes her reality, quote, quote, in parentheses, by crossing the tunnel to her other world. In that other world, everything seems to be unusual, especially the ghost that she is friends with near the end of the movie, or even the mother that is considered as the monster. The buttons that the other parents offer her to show the buttons that her parents offer her show the difference between reality and fantasy. Once Coraline sees those eyes, a light bulb rings in her head, telling her that she has been living in a fantasy all this time, and she would like to go back to reality. In conclusion, impossible sets are another aspect that is found in German Expressionism, such as in Coraline. Coraline, being a stop-motion animation, could really easily contain a few complex sets that the production designers have built. For example, in the movie, Coraline's second father tells her that he has a surprise for her, which is found in their garden. The garden has animal life and plants, as well with vibrant colors that create the protagonist's face. Another great example is near the end of the movie, which Coraline is running out of time to save herself from the other worlds, where everything turns black and white and she's trapped in a spiderweb, while the other mother is trying to get her. In most German Expressionism art pieces, a lot of buildings are in slanted positions. Objects aren't in the correct way, and most of the houses that are drawn seem to be compressed into the middle. It almost gives the art a claustrophobic feeling. This creates an impossible set for their drawings, just like in Coraline. The only difference is that one is on paper and the other is on film, but it still shares the same typical art style of German Expressionism. After going through each and every of these aspects of the movie Coraline, German Expressionism is clearly being used throughout the whole movie. especially with the aspects of emotion and reality. The movie Coraline did such a great job touching on these two aspects. Having two separate worlds in the movie added a huge help of focusing on both emotions and what was real and what wasn't.